So welcome to Chainlink Live. My name is Andy Boyan from Chainlink Labs. I'm here with Michal and Pavel from Synapse Network, formerly Gemstarter. And let's go ahead and get started. I want you guys to introduce Synapse. What is special about Synapse? How does it work? Like, what's your space in the industry?
So the Synapse Network is a cross-chain investment ecosystem to provide the people and projects solutions and the complex solutions that are not currently available on the market, because you can use several different solutions, but there is no any fully done ecosystem that is providing you with CrossChain Dex, with Launchpad, with Incubator, with DeFi Marketplace, and also with Investment Syndicate, that is basically a group of companies like you, Chainlink, of companies like Fractal and capital companies that can provide different solutions to the project to increase the chance of success. But the main element that is differentiating us from the market is our cross-chain solution, because we did and we were able to build as a first company in the crypto space ever a cross-chain solution for the investment process. So that has not been done previously, because many projects tried, but they built basically multi-chain solutions. Like for Polkastarter, for instance, they are a very great project, but they are providing multi-chain solutions. So, separate pool on Binance Smart Chain, separate pool on Ethereum. In our case, there's always one pool, and the user can invest using any chain they want on Ethereum, Matic, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, Avalanche, any chain they want, using any stablecoin they like. So we are giving people the freedom, we are not choosing for the people what they should do, but we are giving the choice to them. So we are leaving the choice to the people.
There's a lot of conversation about, at some point, blockchain, the technology will just, we won't see it anymore. It'll be invisible. And it sounds like that's what you guys are doing, is you're just making fundraising.
That's exactly
well, it doesn't matter.
Trying to do. Yes.
To simplify the whole process, to make a great UX, and to allow people to not worry about the chains, about those problems. We had this discussion today before the live about the UX, about the problems with other people. So we had the other conversation, and we had a huge discussion about the UX problems. That my mother is not able to use MetaMask. She don't understand what is happening. She understands the bank account. So this is the UX that she understands. So we would like to provide this kind of experience to the people, but also, through this cross-chain part, we would like to be a part of a shift that is making on the market, because the evolution of the space was like, in the first place, we had chains, different chains. Then we had DeFi products built on top of those chains, and NFTs for some time. And now we have a lot of silos which have a lot of different financial products, a lot of total value locked money in them. But there is not something on top of that will consolidate them, connect together, and will allow to bring a new product that are operating on different chains, using cross-chain solutions, and consolidating those liquidity pools, consolidating those solutions that are available on different areas in different chains. Yeah,
it sounds like there's a lot of chains or protocols that are in the works to make that functionality happen. Like IBC on Cosmos is one way to do that, or bridging. There's a lot of different bridging solutions.
There is a lot of bridges, but not a lot truly. Well, there is no cross-chain solution as of yet. So I think the bridge itself is something different. It's just allowing you to jump from one chain to another with token, but not use them at once. So I think that's our difference.
So what we would like to achieve in here, because the Cosmos is a perfect example. Maybe we will use a Cosmos protocol in the future to have access to different chains. That's a very probable way of work of our technology. But we would like to provide use cases on top of the protocols. So one of the use cases that we would like, for example, to introduce within the CrossChain Dex is right now to swap Ethereum to BNB, you need to make at least 3 swaps. Because from MetaMask to, for example, Binance, and Binance change to Ethereum to BNB, and then BNB again to your MetaMask. And we would like to provide people a solution that will allow you just to swap one to another on the CrossChain Dex. So that's the solution that we would like to provide.
We have a question about this right now. So since you started talking about it, thank you for the question, Cypher. Can you elaborate a little bit about this CrossChain Dex? Do you have any details you can share with us?
So there are no much details yet, because we focused at the very beginning on providing CrossChain Launchpad, which is working on 3 chains. So on Polygon, on previously Matic, on Ethereum, and on Binance Smart Chain, to show the traction, because building a Launchpad is really not a rocket science. Building a CrossChain Launchpad is a little bit harder, because nobody did it before us. So it's good to be first in something in the world. So we are very happy about that. And right now we are doing the R&D. So there are a lot of different issues that need to be solved, like, handling the liquidity between different chains. This is a huge issue. We are working on this. We have a rough understanding how to solve this. The second problem is automated market making on different chains. Again, it's easy to build something like Uniswap on one chain. It's easier, maybe not easier to build those kind of algorithms, but it's really hard to provide them within different chains. So those kind of stuff, our R&D department are struggling with right now. They're trying to solve it in the best way, to propose some algorithms, solutions. They are looking into, the literature to build and provide the best possible ideas to us. And this is the stage where the CrossChain Dex is right now. And we will move the whole workforce of our from our Launchpad when we integrate more chains in the future, like probably 5 more. And then we will move the rest of the workforce to focus on the Dex. But also we will double the number of employees, because that's the goal. It's a huge project. It's a huge product.
A couple of years ago, everybody was talking about multi-chain and cross-chain. And then just this, like last year, it really started where you could use multi-chain. You could go to Polygon, you can go to back to Ethereum, you can go to Binance Smart Chain and more. And now I'm starting to see almost every project that launches, and I talk to, which is quite a few, they're going multi-chain. And it's easy to switch between chains just in MetaMask. So if you know your way around DeFi, it's getting easier and easier. So I see, like, in the next few months, it getting faster, it getting more decentralized and more secure as well. So that's exciting. So we started talking about your roadmap. And so let's back up a little bit and talk a little bit about the accelerator and the Launchpad. What are those for people who don't know, aren't familiar with those terms? What do those mean, and how are they different from one another?
So our accelerator will, the goal of the accelerator is to help the projects that are not yet mature enough to fundraise to become mature enough to fundraise. So for that, we have our marketing people, our technology people that can help us to understand certain limitations, problems, etc. The business people that can help us to help them to understand the business model that they should have behind the project, because building a technology is easy, fairly easy, but the problem is to provide revenue stream to the company, not to burn all the money you have and then to die. That's the key that everybody should learn, and we would like to help them with this. And also for this purpose, we created this investment consortium, investment syndicate, where we have different companies like capital companies, influencers, business angels, people from the industry, different industries like financial and technological partners. So if the project needs to have Oracle services, we will recommend them to use, for example, Chainlink, because you are top in the class, in the field, on the market. So it's better for them to have a contact through us, so we can explain you why we choose this project to incubate, and you can start work with them, than to try to some cold leads to approach. It's always easier. It's taking a lot of burden, this operational burden from those young founders, and is speeding up development of the company, and then increasing the chance of success for them. So that's the idea of the accelerator itself and this investment syndicate.
So as a platform, the value is, if I'm an investor, then I can invest, and I know there's at least some training wheels, or there's support for a developer or a group of developers to start moving on that business angle, or to get better services, make sure they're using Chainlink and other things like that.
I used to be the developer 21 years ago. So I started as a developer, and then I moved to the business side, but I'm still close to the technology because, this is something that drives me.
Awesome. And so what's a Launchpad? How is that different?
The Launchpad. So the Launchpad is basically solving three main problems that we see right now on the market, on the ICO market. Four. The first one is CrossChain, because most of the solutions are single chain or multi-chain. There is no any CrossChain Launchpad on the market yet. There are multi-chain solutions, like I said, Polka Starter, which if they would like to have like 5 chains in the multi-chain solution, that need to split the round into 5 different buckets. And it's hard to, be whitelisted into any one of those. And that's the problem. In our case, it's always one pool, and you can invest using any chain you want, using any stable coin you want on any chain. So we are giving you the freedom. So you can even, if you have $300 allocation on the project, you can invest 100 on Polygon, 100 on Ethereum, and 100 on Binance Smart Chain to fulfill your allocation.
Was also very important. You can do that by one click. You don't need to swap to another website, to swap to another pools. So it's just like that.
Yeah, so that's the first problem that we are solving. The second problem that we saw that is a huge pathology on this market is our gas wars. So usually there was a lot of examples where people were paying a higher gas fees than the value of the transaction. And that's the problem. And we tested our solution on last 3 rounds that we launched on the platform. And the anti-gas war solution was working perfectly because the average gas price for every investor that invested into last 3 rounds was $5. So it was cheap. Even with this prices of gas, if you would have 200 or 500 or 600 people in the same time that trying to invest on Ethereum, due to the limitations of the block, they probably would make the gas price higher. With us, with our solution, it allowed them to pay less, to reduce the gas price. So that's the second thing that we are solving. And the third element that we introduced is our tier system. So the biggest pain point for low cap investors on the market is that on most platforms you need to possess tens of thousands of tokens of the platform that are worth $10,000, $20,000. That's the problem, because average low cap investors cannot afford to buy this amount. Most of those launchpads are saying that they are fair to the community, but they are fair only for the first 5 days during the price token grows so high, so nobody is able to join anymore. So we decided to do the complete redesign of our tier system. So our tier system is not based on the amount of tokens you stake, but on the value of those tokens. So it's not relevant what the price of the token is. The value level is always the same. $500 is the lowest tier level, and you can always afford to achieve that, to enter the system, to enter the ecosystem, to get a guaranteed allocation. So this is the third solution that we wanted to introduce, because under this baseline of $10,000, $20,000 that those other launchpads set, there are millions of people that are underserved because they cannot afford to enter the ecosystem, the launchpad ecosystem, to participate in the project, but they would like to. So we would like to give them the opportunity to do so. So this is the third element that we are solving. And the fourth, and this is something that we would like to focus very much, is, a lot of projects are doing the fundraising on their own website using, smart contract address and so on. The problem is that if the user is entering such a project, they don't know how to do a proper due diligence. So that's the issue. And most of the people don't know how to do this. So that's why a lot of rug pulls on the market are happening very often. So we would like to provide a very clear and understandable overview of how we did due diligence, how we did analyze the projects, the founders, the executive team. Why do we know that those guys will work and will provide the working product? Because the biggest pain point on the market, we've seen this in 2014, 2017, is that most projects are not leaving an ICO stage and never are delivering any kind of product. That's the problem. And we would like to avoid that by doing a proper due diligence on our side, but also together with this investment syndicate. So those are the differences of our Launchpad, CrossChain Launchpad to the others.
When I am thinking about your first two solutions, thinking about how to structure the fundraise, there was a thread yesterday on Twitter that Kane from Synthetics did. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was about fundraising, and he had this really cool idea, which was crypto is still new, and you can be weird with your fundraising. You can set up different kinds of pools and all sorts of things. And you can try new things, cross-chain now, and all this different pooling. So it seems like the ability to build this technology as it comes, as we get more cross-chain stuff, be able to do more creative things. If you want to set different levels for all different kinds of investors.
We are still discovering that space. So yes, that's completely true. We can do a lot of things to find the right way.
And maybe there's different ways for each different project, and an NFT project may be very different from a DeFi project because they've got, different levels of tiers for, I don't know, whatever it may be,
That's true. And we think that, CrossChain will be a next step in the evolution of blockchain space, because what's stopping the big players right now from using still from putting a lot of money, there is a lot of money, but comparing to the traditional market, so this is this amount of money in the blockchain space and this amount of money on traditional market. So what argument will convince those big guys to put this money into the blockchain space? And I think this will be a cross-chain. Those will be a cross-chain solution where we connect all those ecosystems together, to seamlessly exchange the informations, money, everything between the chains. So that will be the next big thing. And this is a holy grail of the space right now, currently on.
Well, the amount of money in traditional finance compared to DeFi is, I mean, it's just a tiny amount that's in DeFi, even as it's growing. So the liquidity just isn't there. It's not a mature enough market for $100 billion to just flood in. It would just wreck DeFi. I don't know how it would be incredibly volatile. And so to open up to cross-chain for whatever it is, fundraising or AMMs or whatever it happens to be, we need that, right? But to be able to pool these funds together in a secure way as well.
Yes, but from the other side, look at the possibilities here. Look how much more people, how much more money can come to the market.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why, low cap investors are really interested, because it's these opportunities, this volatility. It's scary for a lot of people, but it's also an opportunity for a lot of people. So really interesting market segment. I forgot to ask you guys have a new website too, you just launched, and we want to show it off too.
This is our website. So do you see that?
Yeah.
Yes,
totally.
yes.
Okay, so this is our new brand. We have changed it completely because we did a rebranding from Gemstarter previously, because at the very beginning we were thinking about only a Launchpad, but 2 weeks later we started to think about the CrossChain Launchpad and then about the whole CrossChain ecosystem to provide different tools for different problems. So that's our new website that has been published yesterday. You can read about us, about the last community sale, how successful it was, even with the current market conditions. You can read a lot of about our product, so about all the products we have, so the 5 products, and how we would like to connect them to the 2 different markets, so the blockchain market, but also to the traditional, because in the future we would like each one of those elements to be also connected to traditional market. Like, for example, our Launchpad in the future can provide services for average people, so they can connect their credit card and invest directly into the project they desire to possess through fiat money. Also, we can imagine that we can tokenize traditional businesses to allow them to fundraise on our platform. So those kind of stuff we would like to introduce in here in the future. And here there are more details about our solution in here, so you can read about each one of those elements of the whole ecosystem in here. Here is the information about the cross-chain and how we are using the whole cross-chain part, and the roadmap, what has been done so far. So we should put a tick in here. So private sale round and A and B has been finished. And also Polygon has been integrated. So we also should check one of the elements from the phase 4. Tokenomics, so the average stuff, the whole team. So it's not the whole team, because in the team we have like 15 people, but we didn't manage to add all of them to the website yesterday. So that's why not all of them has been listed, but they will. So this is our new branding. This is our new website. I encourage everybody. And here you can find all the links to our socials. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on a website launch. Those are Herculean tasks. If people have not launched a business and you do a rebrand, it's always takes up way more energy than you expect. That's great to see. Michal, we were talking just briefly about using VRF. So Chainlink VRF, if people are not familiar, it's a randomizer. It's basically a way to get secure random numbers on chain. So you guys use that in your IDO process or in token distribution? Is that what you said?
In our pre-sales, in whitelisting for our own pre-sale. Yes.
So there's only so much available, right? Only so many people can get into a round. And so the VRF is a secure randomization that you can't game. You guys don't get to decide. Chainlink node operators don't get to decide. It's random, and it's provably random, so that it's fair for people who
we wanted to be as transparent as possible during this pre-sale. That's why we used a trusted third-party provider for such a function. But we also we're gonna use 2 other functions of Chainlink. So we will use price feeds, because we need to have a reliable source of prices, because as our tier system is based on value of the token, we need to multiply amount of tokens that you are staking with the value. So we need to get this value from somewhere. So we will gonna use your solution to get those prices. And also, we are early adopters of Keepers, so your newest product, because we would like to automatize several elements of our ecosystem with Keeper, to be on chain. So cool. So those 3 products we're gonna be used within the Gemstarter ecosystem.
Awesome.
Synapse Network.
That's all right.
Oops.
It's okay. I'm really excited about Keepers as just going out into DeFi and smart contracts. I think there's a lot of potential there, just to automate things and decentralize. So happy to hear you guys are using those. And then as an accelerator and a launchpad, you can recommend Chainlink to other projects, which for price feeds especially, I mean, all of them, but for price feeds especially, to have secure prices, good oracles really prevents a lot of trouble in the should have used Chainlink space.
So exactly that's the case. We want to propose our projects to work with Chainlink if they need any kind of oracle solutions. That's why we also introducing those projects with the possibility of using your product. So
and then you send them to me, and we'll do another Q&A. I like it.
Exactly like that. Exactly. That's the idea.
Problem solved.
We would like to provide you more work. So
hey man, I'll take it.
You said before that you like to talk for hours, so don't worry. We will make it happen.
I have the best job. I'm not gonna lie. As I talk to really cool projects and just learn about DeFi all over the space, I'm very pleased with what I get to do. One of our users has a question. Remo, I'm gonna rephrase this a little bit. What are some of the challenges that you guys are seeing, like moving forward as you hit this cross chain? You guys said you're starting to do R&D. What are some of these challenges, and how are you working on overcoming them?
So one of the challenges that we see is automated market making. So right now, currently we have 2 base challenges that we need to focus on to move forward with the development. So one of those is automated market making, how to deal with this on different chains when we are cross-chain and we have access to different chains and we are exchanging tokens between. So, to avoid any arbitration possibility, between chains or so, not to be not to expose ourselves for economic attacks in the future. So this is what is happening very often with weak projects that will not audited very well. So those economic attacks, you do not need to find any errors in smart contracts, but sometimes you just need to find error in logic. So this is exactly what we are focusing in on, this automated market making part. But also another element is liquidity handling. This is also a huge element, because if we would like to swap any token to any token on our platform from any chain to any chain, we cannot have a model where the liquidity is provided on the pair, because we will never be able to provide so much money to the ecosystem. So we need to figure out how to deal with this element. So we have ideas how to make this happen on CrossChain, in the CrossChain ecosystem. And yes, so those are two biggest challenges that we need to do R&D on.
Yeah, well, I mean, I see sushi on a ton of different blockchains right now, and each one is a fully separate set of liquidity. And
exactly,
it's a lot. It's a lot of money right now.
You need to have a lot of money to put into this ecosystem.
Yeah. And so they work different partnerships to promote different ones at different times, but that is a challenge. So I'm really interested to see how the industry as a whole solves that and how you guys do as well. We're coming up on time here, so I want to give you guys a chance. What are you showed your roadmap briefly, but what are some of the next short-term things that people in your community can expect?
Short-term goals, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next short-term goals that we have in here are basically to launch ourselves, to have a TGE event. So that's the shortest goal that we have, and then to introduce more chains on the Launchpad. So we would like to to introduce Cardano when they're ready. we are waiting for Cardano guys to provide smart contracts capabilities. We would like to introduce here like free up to 5 more chains within the next couple of months to be a really true cross-chain solution. And that's the biggest goal that we have for the following weeks and months. Yeah.
Cool. Well, hey guys, it has been really awesome talking to you and getting to know your project, formerly Jumpstarter, moving to Synapse Network with a new website launch. Thank you to the community for being here as well. We got a fair amount of people viewing, and this will be up on YouTube, so you can share this with your community and with your friends and networks for as long as it's on Chainlink YouTube, which will be a very, very long time. Pavel, Michal, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks as well.
Andy, thank you very much for the invitation.
Well, it's absolutely my pleasure. Like I said before, I love talking to cool projects and meeting cool people like you guys. So the thing I need to ask the audience to do, though, is a couple of things. I need you to join some communities. Join the Synapse Network community. It seems like their Telegram is pretty popular, and I've just joined it today as well. So I'm in there. You can say hey to me if you want. And then also join the Chainlink communities. Our Discord, there's a lot more conversation happening there as well, talking about these and other Oracle integrations. Developers can start to get started there for technical help, or you can just come and chat about Chainlink Oracles there as well. And of course, like and subscribe. Help me out. Come to this video series. I do them a couple every week, and I talk to really cool projects. And so I'd love to have more people come in and join me for those, because we're having a great time. Hey, thanks to my guy Mark in the chat for saying hey and running things as well. It's always good to have you here, buddy. And we'll see you guys next time on the next Chainlink Live.